The Huskers finished 4-8 on the season after coming up just short against Iowa. Sean, talk about the game a little bit first. Double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, and yet the Huskers really showed some heart.
Yeah, you go back and look at it, and it swung once Iowa chose not to go up by 18 points. It's 28-13. You could go up 31-13 with an extra point level field goal. Kirk Ferentz makes one of the most bonehead, I'll call it was a dumb decision to not put the game away, and it backfires. Then Nebraska had to do a fake punt of their own, and that turned the game. And all Nebraska needed was something, a momentum thing, and it happened. And you got to give them credit. They took advantage of it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finish it.
Kind of the story of the season here, especially in the last two-thirds of the season. The Huskers making improvements, but yet just can't seem to get over the hump in some of these close games.
Yeah, it comes down to depth, strength and conditioning, and players. Right now, Nebraska defensively, when they blitzed Iowa, it just wasn't really getting home. Their pressures were very limited, and that comes down to having the right guys for pass rushing situations and just the depth. And Nebraska's defense, especially as Iowa grinded them down at times in this game, I mean, you saw their lack of depth.
Where does Nebraska need to improve other than strength and conditioning?
Well, they need to get pass rushers. I think the defensive end position and the outside linebacker position on this defense, really all four linebacker spots, need more athletic, longer lever guys. They need some safety play for the future because they lose a lot of safeties. But there's a lot on this defense. Offensively, I think the biggest thing is how do you replace Stanley Morgan. I think Maurice Washington's going to be a really good one at running back to replace Ozigbo. But you've got the franchise guy. You've got the Tom Brady, the Aaron Rodgers for the next 3 years in this program. Now you need a few more parts to go with them.
And depth in all positions, O-line. Especially O-line.
Yeah, the offensive line, just getting more than 5 bodies. They were able to survive a razor-thin offensive line this year, and I don't think you want to go through very many more years like that.
If there was one moment in 2018 that you say, yep, that's the story of the season, what would you kind of pop into your head and say, yeah, that's the story of the 2018 Huskers?
Just close but no cigar, but the way this team fought and the way that 0-6, how many teams in the country would still fight like that? And the fan support this year through this season, I don't know if there's anywhere in the country that you would see this level of a support, this many people in Iowa City for this game on Friday, this many people at a Bethune-Cookman game, a snow game, the cold game. Everybody's on board, and you can sense it. There is no animosity. People are upset about the loss, like every loss, but there aren't layers of political animosity with Nebraska football. Even though we're looking at a 4-8 season again, it just feels so much better.
Yeah, it feels much different. And put this on your calendar, the season opener in 2019, August the 31st against South Alabama.